So the World Cup draw was done, and it happened the way I had hoped it would, that South Africa get based in Mexico. It's really for sentimental reasons. The old man, I call him the silver-haired Belgian Hugo Broos, the man who changed our football. I for one did not like Hugo Broos when he first arrived here. I remember thinking, what the fuck is this white man telling us? He came in, you remember how he said, oh, we're using old players, and I didn't like that. But I've come to like him. He's done wonderful things for South Africa, and how, you know, I believe in God, but people will say the gods of football almost answered his prayers by making us be based in Mexico. Now, why do I say that? Back in 1986, when the great El Diego Maradona dominated world football and won the World Cup for Argentina, Belgium also played at that World Cup, and Hugo Broos was a defender for Belgium, and he played in Mexico. Now, this old man is taking his, what do you call, you guys, the youngsters will say, his last dance at the World Cup, and it will be in Mexico. The opening match, we are going to play Mexico. Fate has it that, it's how many years now? It will be 16 years. Is it 26? We played 20. No, my maths is very bad. 16 years since we hosted the World Cup. Exactly on the same date, June 11, South Africa and Mexico are going to play each other at the incredible Azteca Stadium. The Azteca Stadium, if you don't know it, it's in Mexico City, the stadium that hosted the 1986 World Cup final, Argentina and Germany, where Maradona was just mesmerizing. But it's where the great Hugo Sanchez was shining for Mexico in 1986. It's a tough draw. Coach Hugo Broos said afterwards that we got a very tough draw, but it's the World Cup. There are no easy draws at the World Cup. Is it a group we can get out of? It's going to be tricky. Top two automatically qualify. But because it's such an extended World Cup for the 8 countries, the 8 best placed third, let's get this right, 8 of the best number 3s. So if you finish third in your group and you are among the 8, you get to qualify for the knockout stages. You qualify for the knockout stages, and I think South Africa can make it and finish in the top 3. It's not going to be easy. We've got Mexico opening match. It's always tough when you play the host nation in the opening match. There's going to be close on 80,000 fans in that stadium, or even more. Mexicans, a lot of them. Very, very few South Africans will be able to make it to the stadiums, because the tickets are not cheap. I mean, I was just checking earlier on. The cheapest ticket for this match, Mexico v South Africa, is $750 US. That's close on 13,000 at today's exchange rate. I don't know how many South Africans will afford that, but I'm sure there are people with money who will be able to get that. Also, there's quite a lot of South Africans who are based in the States and even in Mexico, hopefully. So we should have quite a crowd. But listen, if you remember in 2010, it was just how many Mexicans were in that stadium? Probably very few. We dominated the crowd and we played 1-1. Who can ever forget Siphiwe Tshabalala's goal, opening goal? So, South Africa, Mexico, opening day. I think we should be very excited. I heard Mohau Nkota at the draw saying he would love to score the opening goal, and why not? I mean, you look at Siphiwe Tshabalala is a legend of South African football just because of that goal, really. Yeah, he's done well for years, but I think were it not for that goal that he scored, he probably would be somewhat forgotten. So this is an opportunity for the current crop to go out there and just make a name for himself. You are playing, the whole world will be watching. Everybody's excited about the president of AMA 2000. Just about everybody who is going to make the South African squad. This is an amazing opportunity. You play in the opening match of the World Cup, but nothing gets bigger than that. Of course, the biggest is winning the World Cup. We are not going to reach the final, that's for sure. So yeah, it's a group. We have South Korea. So Mexico, I think we would be, if we win, bonus. I don't think they're not as strong as a lot of the other countries that we could have got, but their host nation, it won't be easy to beat them. So I would say we get a draw against Mexico. We are in the money. We can beat South Korea. I think we have the beating of South Korea. Club-wise, I know that on the club level, we've never played South Korea at international level, but on the club front, just recently, Mamelodi Sundowns beat a Korean team. But in general, we've struggled. I remember way back in the Afro-Asian Cup, was it 96? Orlando Pirates lost to Ilua Chunma when they were African champions, and the Koreans represented Asia. So it's a tied match. And then there's a third team that will come into the fourth team, really, that will come into our group. A lot of people sort of don't get what happened there. So we are waiting for a winner of the European playoffs. So the European teams are still playing in their playoffs, just like we have the DRC playing in the other intercontinental playoffs. Now, we are likely to get either of Denmark, who are playing South Macedonia, and then there's also the Czech Republic, who should, let me just remember, it's the Czech Republic, it's North Macedonia, and Denmark. Who's the fourth team? Let me just quickly check. I'm forgetting the fourth team, but the reason we are then going to play any of those is exactly that the Europeans are still involved in the playoffs. I think if we get Denmark, a lot of people believe Denmark can win that group. There's also Republic of Ireland in there, yes. The Republic of Ireland, Czech Republic, they call themselves Czechia now. There's Macedonia and Denmark. You'll remember we played Denmark when we first played at the World Cup in 1998. We played against Denmark. Benny McCarthy, I remember scoring that Shibobo against Peter Schmeichel. It's a country we can beat. I know we always struggle against European opposition. So if I were to make a prediction, I'd say we will go into the next round. I think you look at what our under-20 team did. For the first time, we qualified for the knockout stages of the World Cup. The under-17s, like South Africa, they went into an extended World Cup of 38 countries, and they too made it through. They actually were finished. They finished second in their group. Hugo Bruce said it after the draw that we can get through. He would want us to. Of course, you want to be the top two. If you can win the group, you can, but it won't be that easy. So if we get through as the third best placed team, also, why not? That's how it should be. A lot of people were asking just why was it that some people did not understand just how the draw functioned. It was fairly simple. 4 pots, and they picked teams from each, so that there's 4 groups. In each group, there's four countries, 16 groups. Of 4, is it 16? My maths is playing with me today. How FIFA picked on those four pots, it's all about rankings, but the host nations, America, Canada, and Mexico, were in the top pot just because of being hosts. So they got, and you saw they did the draw. They were the first ones to be picked up. And when you looked at that, the pot A had the top nations. You had your Spain, you had your Argentina was there, Germany, and we were lucky not to get any of those. I was always saying, let's get one of the hosts because they are the weaker teams. And then pot 2, you also had the stronger teams. I mean, we had Morocco in there and Senegal from Africa. Now, we could not get an African team. That's the plan of it. That of all the other nations, if you looked at the draw, there'll be, I think there's about four groups where there are 2 teams from Europe, mainly because Europe have more representation at the World Cup, but they are the only confederation where their countries could meet in the first round. So if you look at it, there will be no South American teams in one group, and no African teams, no Asian, and no CONCACAF in the. We can only then meet our African opponents in the next round, but not in the group stages. So that's how it is. Mexico, as I say, it's a huge match. I think this is the greatest shop window any player can ever ask for, to play in the opening match of the World Cup. And I think, as Mohaun Kota said, they will all want to score goals. They will all want to be, shine on that stage. My hope is that they don't all want to score goals, that they don't pass each other and just strive to be the one that shines. But I think it's a great time. We've played Mexico, as I said, in that opening match. We've played them previously as well. When Clive Buck, I think we went to a Four Nations tournament and we drew with them. So I don't think we've ever lost to Mexico in an international match. I might be mistaken, but I don't remember us losing to them. So if we get a draw in the opening match, 4 points will actually take you into the next round, I believe, especially as a potential third best placed team of those. So yeah, excitement abounds, but World Cup is still some months away. The immediate thing is the Africa Cup of Nations coming up, and tomorrow Coach Hugo Bruce and his team are in Pretoria at the HPC. There's a press conference looking ahead to that one. So let's get to the Nations Cup, perhaps win it, and then go to the World Cup excited and, imbued with huge confidence.
Omni Sports. Break it down. Africa's premier sports destination.